When moving to a new area, whether it's a new state, city, town, understanding the top schools in that area and the quality of the schools is extremely important. In this video, we're going to talk about the top public schools, so it's also going to help you see and understand where you're zoned for so you can find the best area for you. We're going to highlight the top 3 elementary schools, the top 3 middle schools, and the top 3 high schools in the greater Charlotte area. Even though your school may not be mentioned in our list, that does not mean that there aren't tremendous schools that you or your children may have attended. But at the end of this video, we're going to also show you how you can dive in and find for yourself schools, their quality, their rankings, where the zoning is. So you'll want to stick around to the very end. And with all that, let's jump in. And if this is your first time to the channel and you'd like to know everything going on in the greater Charlotte area, things just like top schools, locations, place to live, pros and cons, make sure you subscribe and click the notification button to our channel so you'll be the first to know as we share new content all the time. I'm Steve Gerald with the Longleaf Group here in the Charlotte area. So I love working with people just like you, wanting to learn about the area every single day. So make sure you reach out. All of our information is below, and we'd love to help you. With all that said, the first topic, the first group we're going to talk about are the top elementary schools, the top 3 public elementary schools. The first school we're going to talk about, number 3 on our list, is Polo Ridge Elementary School. Just east of Ballantyne, just west of Providence Road in the South Charlotte area. They have a student population of 645 students. Important part of that is they have a student-to-teacher ratio of 15:1. So great ratio there. And from an academic standpoint, reading scores, 84 percentile, math and science in the 91 percentile. So academics are excellent. And from a minority enrollment, they have 53% in that minority enrollment. So well-rounded, great academics. And that's why they're the number 3 elementary school on our list. And coming in number 2 on our list is the Newtown Elementary School. If you're not familiar with the Waxhaw area, this is in the heart of the Waxhaw area, right off of Waxhaw Indian Trail Road. Fantastic area. Obviously great elementary school. They have a student population of 751 students with a student-to-teacher ratio of 15:1. Academics, they have reading scores at the 95 percentile and the math scores in the 91 percentile and science in the 94 percentile. We're talking about elementary school, so this is just such a great launch pad for middle school and into elementary school. And the Newtown Elementary School comes in at number 2 on our list in the Waxhaw area. And the number 1 public elementary school on our ranking is the Providence Spring Elementary School, and they've been a top elementary school for quite a while now, and for good reason. Both their ranking as far as academics, as far as how well they're preparing students for the next stage into middle school. They have approximately 800 students with a 14:1 student-to-teacher ratio, so kids are getting really good hands-on education and are being prepared, as you see from their academics, which had a 85 percentile reading score, 95% on the English and science side of things. These children are being well prepared, and they come in at number 1. And like I said, for good reason. 26% of the students at Providence Spring are minorities, so there's a good mix, both minorities as well as non-minorities in the Providence Spring Elementary School. Fantastic school, just south of Piper Glen area in South Charlotte. So like I mentioned, there's a reason that such great education's going on in the South Charlotte area. And this is just one of those examples coming in at number 1. So jumping into the top 3 middle schools, public middle schools in the greater Charlotte area, it's important to remember middle school in North Carolina is from 6th grade to 8th grade. So as we look at those top 3, number 3 on our list is actually in South Carolina, and that's Fort Mill Middle School. The Fort Mill Middle School student population is at 853 students with a student-to-teacher ratio of only 15:1, which is fantastic. They have a test score, which is, as I'll show you later, how that ranking comes, where we get those rankings from, but it's a 10 out of 10 with a 75 percentile in English, a 65 percentile in math, and a 63% in science section. So those are all above what the overall state ranking is by quite a bit. The important thing, a very important thing, which is the underserved population, low income, those scores of those students are actually in the 75 percentile. So just an awesome way to show the way that their growth in academics across the student population is really strong. So that's number 3. Let's jump into number 2 on our list. Coming in at number 2 on our list, we're going to head up just north of the downtown Charlotte area in the Mallard Creek area, which is west of the Concord area, east of the Huntersville area, and that is Harris Road Middle School. And Harris Road Middle School has right at 1,400 students, a 21:1 student-to-teacher ratio, and their scores are fantastic. Their math scores are in the 85 percentile, and then reading and science are in the 91 percentile. So fantastic scores. What's also really strong is their equality scores, or the scores for the low or underserved population, and their scores are in the 85 percentile, which is fantastic. And all of those added together give us a 10 out of 10, and they're number 2 on our list. On the north side, we moved up north a little bit, and that is the Harris Road Middle School. Coming in at number 1 in our top middle schools in the greater Charlotte area, great public schools in the Charlotte area, is J.M. Robinson Middle School. They have just over 1,200 students in the J.M. Robinson Middle School. Their student-to-teacher ratio is 19:1. Academic-wise, they come in really strong, as you'd expect, as number 1, with a score of 82 percentile in math, and then for science and reading, 76 percentile. They're located right in the Ballantyne area, back down to the South Charlotte area. J.M. Robinson is a fantastic school, obviously coming in number 1, and from a minority enrollment, they're at 42%. Those students as well, obviously, are a big factor for their academic performance and just a strong school overall. So as we look at the top high schools in the area, we're obviously looking at academics, but we're also judging from our rankings the graduation rate as well as the college readiness. So as we look at those scores, those are the things that really weigh heavy on our top scores. Coming in at number 3 on our list is Providence High School. They have just at about 2,000 students at the high school with a graduation rate at 95%. And from a college readiness, we're looking at just over 62% of the students are heading off to college. So tremendous ability to prepare students for that college. The next thing we look at from a scoring perspective is the minority enrollment, which for Providence High School is 30 percentile, so 30% of the student population. That's what we're looking at for number 3. Let's look at number 2 on our list for top public high schools. Number 2 on our list is the Audrey Kell High School, and they have a student population at 3,400 students. What's amazing is their graduation rate is at 98% of their students. 67% of them prepared for college readiness. They have a minority rate of 49%, and it's just a phenomenal academics, which are 10 out of 10. I come in at number 2, and they're also located right in that Ballantyne area, which we've mentioned some of the other schools. Middle schools, elementary schools are also strong from an academic standpoint in that general, obviously, South Charlotte area. Coming in at number 1 that you've all been waiting for. I'm interested in your feedback on all the schools, but especially the number 1 school on our list is the Marvin Ridge High School, located in the village of Marvin, which is South Charlotte, Union County, right next door to Waxhaw. But Marvin Ridge comes in at a amazing 95% high school graduation, 94% are college ready, going on to either college or some type of vocational school after, which is phenomenal. And, you're looking at a student population of just over 2,200 students, a minority percentage at 30% of the student population, which is fantastic. Like I mentioned, those graduation as well as the college readiness being almost the entire population of students that are graduating and going on to further education is fantastic, which is why Marvin Ridge came in at number 1 from a high school, public high school on our list. Some honorable mentions we'll add in there as well are Weddington High School also comes in on our list, but obviously, like I said earlier, there's a number of high schools that are fantastic that just didn't come in our list. And I mentioned earlier, there's ways for you to also track and learn about different schools, their rankings, which is what we're using. We're coming up with these. These aren't just my personal opinions. They're based on, in this case, it's greatschools.org, which accumulates information from scores, records, from public records on school rankings to come up with their list. And also will give you, which is just as important of knowing what's a great school, what area you will be zoned for, which is why I was mentioning some of those general locations. But if you go to greatschools.org, you can see the maps of where those schools fall within. So you can, as you're looking at making that move, you can find schools that are in areas that you're zoned for. Make sure that it's the best place for you and the best schools for you, for your students or future students. And I hope this list was helpful to you. If it was, or even if it wasn't, I'd love your feedback down below. Share that with us and we'd love to hear it. Thank you again for joining us on our overview of the top public schools in the greater Charlotte area. I'm Steve Jarrell with the Longleaf Group at eXp Realty. We love hearing from people just like you every single day, so make sure you reach out to us if you have any questions. Obviously, subscribe to get the latest updates on content in the greater Charlotte area. And we look forward to seeing you. And until next time, we'll see you then.